Hi, how you guys doing? It's Sunday night, and I don't usually put the show on social media on Sunday night, but something extraordinary happened yesterday. I stubbed my toe. Of course, everybody knows what happened yesterday. It was an interesting afternoon. The messages immediately started pouring into my phone, and I thought, man, I suppose I'm going to have to do a special show. And then I went, no, you know what? I don't know enough about this yet. So better to just sit back and wait and listen to some of the experts talk about it for a bit and hear their perspectives, and then try and piece together some of the things that you know happened, some of the things you think may have happened, which I'll input into the show tonight. And then you guys can make up your minds, if you haven't already, on your own. Because there's and still more to come, I'm sure. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be hearing more and more and more and more about what happened yesterday. Did Trump stage it himself? Some people are actually talking about that. And that's an interesting theory. Was the CIA, I was briefly talked to Theo Fleury on the phone today, not on the phone, texting, and he said, CIA's effing around. And I went, yeah, anything's possible. Last week, Wayne Peters and I were talking about a Black Swan event coming soon to the world near you. And we didn't realize how soon it was going to happen. We didn't even know what it was going to be. Could yesterday have been that? And there are two different kinds of Black Swan events. There's a good one, and then there's a not so good one, in my opinion, depending on who's pushing the buttons, who's pulling the strings. And things became a lot murkier yesterday. I mean, it's not like they cleared up. Things got even more convoluted yesterday. So we're going to go through all of this stuff, and then you guys can go ahead and decide. Now, again, I don't normally do the social media aspect of the show on Sunday nights. Usually this show is for the All Access members on shadowdavis.com, and it will be. You guys are going to get the first half hour tonight because I thought this was such an extraordinary event that I wanted to come on and talk to all of you. And so the first half hour, starting right after I do the ad for Canada Nano Silver, the first half hour, and then we're going to zip over to shadowdavis.com for the All Access members. So if you're not an All Access member there yet, please become one. It's pretty inexpensive considering inflation these days. And you get a lot more stuff. I go a lot deeper back there, and there's all kinds of extra content all the time. In some cases, even on a regular weeknight, we'll go on for an extra 45 minutes to an hour talking about things and giving you stories that you otherwise wouldn't have heard. So you might want to become an all-access member. shadowdavis.com, SHADOEDAVIS.com. The Shadow at Night live stream is brought to you by Canada Nano Silver, CanadaNanoSilver.ca. The Recover Muscle Cream. Experience the ultimate comfort and relaxation as Recover works its magic. Formulated with cutting-edge technology, the Advanced Muscle Cream provides unparalleled relief, catering to your unique needs. This and many of the other awesome products are available. All of the other awesome products are available online at CanadaNanoSilver.ca. Again, that is CanadaNanoSilver.ca. If you want to know where a retail location is, how can I buy this stuff in person? Find out. Go to the retail locations tab on the website. And if you want to become a retailer of these awesome products, get a hold of Kevin and Anna through the contact tab at CanadaNanoSilver.ca. Again, that is CanadaNanoSilver.ca. Okay, quickly, I'm going to go to the comments here, and it's not about the hellos tonight. It's not about any of that. By the way, hello X and Twitter and YouTube and Twitch and Facebook, and of course, ShadowDavis.com and Telegram, the Shadow at Night group. What do you guys think happened yesterday? I want your opinions. Write them down. What do you think happened yesterday? What do you think that was? Trump getting shot. What do you think that was? I'm going to go to, let's see, Rumble. Yeah, Wayne, you did say that. I'm pretty sure I said Trump just needs to survive to stay, to win the election. And who knows? I mean, I think there are going to be more attempts like this, but real ones? Because I don't know what happened yesterday. I mean, the second that I saw the video of it, I went, this doesn't look right. There's something the matter with this, and I don't know exactly. It just frustrated me. Like, You know how you get feelings about things. And I got this feeling, and I went, no, this just doesn't, this is not computing up here. I didn't see it live. Like I said, I received all of these messages, and then I went, oh, okay, I got to see this, and you watch the video. We're going to show you the video in just a second. Anyway, hello, Rumblers. Don't forget to share this and give us the thumbs up, and let's get it out there to as many as possible. And the same goes for all the other social media platforms. All right, so let's go back to what we know is going on. This was posted on Donald J. Trump's, what's his, Truth Social. That's the only place he seems to engage with people these days. And he says to all of us, thank you to everyone for your thoughts and prayers yesterday, as it was God alone who prevented the unthinkable from happening. We will fear not, but instead remain resilient in our faith and defiant in the face of wickedness. Remember, fight. Now, as inspirational as I thought that was, there's something else about that bothered me, but we'll get to that. Our love goes out to the other victims and their families. We pray for the recovery of those who were wounded and hold in our hearts the memory of the citizen who was so horribly killed. In this moment, it is more important than ever that we stand united and show our true character as Americans, remaining strong and determined and not allowing evil to win. I truly love our country and love you all, and look forward to speaking to our great nation this week from Wisconsin. So he did say that he was boarding a plane and would be arriving in Wisconsin this afternoon at 3:30 Eastern Time. Now, this is very saddening. This was posted on X earlier today. Who posted this up here? I want to give him some credit. Taylor Hanson. The Trump rally attendee who was murdered yesterday by Matthew Crooks has been identified as Corey Comparatori. A family member has released a statement on their Facebook page about the situation. Prayers up for Corey and his family. So here is the statement. Comes right from his daughter. Yesterday, time stopped. And when it started again, my family and I started living a real-life nightmare. What was supposed to be an exciting day that we had all looked forward to, especially my dad, turned into the most traumatizing experience someone could ever imagine. I know the media will cover this event, and I'm going to try my best to stay away from looking at everything, especially because I've already seen and lived through it in real time. But I want everyone to know what the media will not cover and will not say about him. He was the best dad a girl could ever ask for. My sister and I never needed for anything. You call, he would answer, and he would do whatever it is you needed, and if he didn't know how, he would figure it out. He could talk and make friends with anyone, which is what he was doing all day yesterday, and loved every minute of it. He was a man of God. He loved Jesus fiercely and also looked after our church and our members as family. The media will not tell you that he died a real-life superhero. They're not going to tell you how quickly he threw my mom and I to the ground. They are not going to tell you that he shielded my body from the bullet that came at us. He loved his family. He truly loved us enough to take a real bullet for us. And I want nothing more than to cry on him and tell him thank you. I want nothing more than to wake up and for this to not be reality for me and my family. We lost a selfless, loving husband, father, brother. Where were we here? We lost a selfless, loving husband, father, brother, uncle, son, and friend, and I will never stop thinking about him and mourning over him until the day that I die too. July 13th will forever be a day that changed my life. I will never be the same person I was less than 24 hours ago. There are a lot of children out there that say their dad is their hero, but my dad really is mine. I don't think I would be here today without him. Dad, I love you so much, that there aren't enough words to express how deep that love goes. I know you'll give heaven some hell, and I know that God is proud of the man that came to his gates yesterday. And that's from Corey's daughter, who he protected from dying by taking a bullet at the event yesterday. Okay. You know, I posted a meme yesterday of Hillary Clinton standing in some kitchen looking shocked, and the caption on it was Hillary saying, "You mean we missed?" And people were complaining about that meme, that it was tasteless and that it was rude and whatnot, and that I should take it down. Immediately, I should take it down. And I said, well, first of all, and they referenced Corey and his family in their complaints, and I did not reference them in that meme. It was simply meant as a joke. Now, too soon. No, it was not. It was not too soon. And what disturbed me more about that than anything was the same thing that disturbed me today regarding that professor at UBC saying those tasteless things she said on X yesterday, and we'll get to that. She should be fired. You should take that down. There are people who are acting like Marxists out there, who are acting like authoritarians, who are acting like they're the final arbiters of what should be available for people to see and what shouldn't. Who should be fired and who shouldn't, without even thinking about it. And I believe a lot of that has happened in the past 24 hours. You see something and immediately come to a judgment without stopping and thinking about it. Shooting your mouth off first and not even bothering to ask questions later. Demanding, insisting that somebody do something because it's tasteless or rude. That's not for any of us to decide. If you find something tasteless and rude, I would suggest scrolling on, my friend. I used to love following you, Shadow, but now I think that you're rude. Really. Because I posted one meme. That I find that to be ridiculous. Ridiculous. And people thinking emotionally, which is something we went through during the lockdowns. Remember? Thinking emotionally. And many of us were so proud to say, no, I'm a critical thinker. I rise above all of that. And I think some of those people were the very same ones who came down with rush judgments yesterday and today, demanding this and demanding that, without even thinking about what should really be done, without even thinking about other elements in play here. All right. I said my piece on that. So let's watch what happened yesterday from kind of a different angle. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to This came from Dr. Robert Malone's Substack. Oh, there's a photo. Now, when I first saw what happened to Trump yesterday, I saw the blood on his face and I went, that doesn't look real. Now, in that photo it does, but not there. Okay, so here is the video, full scope, different point of view.
The chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look what happened.
Okay, so I'm no expert on security. I'm hoping to have Jeff Stone from Tacit Investigations and Security on at some point later this week to give us a rundown and possibly even one moment. Danny Bulford. He was on Trudeau's security detail for a while, and he would have a definite thought, or many thoughts, into this whole thing. It seems to me these Secret Service agents are exposing Trump right now at this moment in the video to more gunfire. They don't know where the bullets are coming from. They don't know where the shooter is positioned, and yet they pick him up, and it seems like they want to get him out of harm's way, but at the same time, they haven't yet secured the shooter. You need to make sure that the shooter is secured before you move POTUS, or whatever his nickname is that they call him. I'm not sure what it is. Because right now, Trump is exposed to more gunfire. So let's continue on here. And then the fist coming up and the fight thing. Like, he's fully exposed right there. Yes, they are surrounding him, but they should be literally laying on top of him right now, not letting him sit up. These guys are trained to not allow, like, it doesn't matter what Trump says or anybody they're protecting at this stage of the game. You sit on these guys. You do not let them move until you've got all possible shooters secured. And there he is standing there, open to more gunfire. Okay, this is the other thing now. Either Donald Trump is a different breed altogether, or he knew something was happening, something was going to happen. Let me ask you a question in complete and total honesty here, and remembering that we're not him, all right? We've never experienced the height of fame that he has, the height of pressure that he has, ever in our lives, and we never will. So it may become incredibly difficult to try and empathize with a guy like that in a situation like this. However, you're standing there giving a speech to thousands of people, you hear these noises, and then you go, like this, which is what he did. Now, some say that the shooter hit the glass of the teleprompter, and that's what deflected into Trump's ear. Others say they got Trump, the bullet grazed his ear. Secret Service then falls on you, and I thought that was a bit of a delayed response by them. Not incredibly long, but long enough for him to be shot again. Anyway, you stand up, you've got these security guys around you, and again, here, look at this. Trump is open to more gunfire at this stage, unless they've been hearing in their little headsets that the shooter is secured. And I don't think the shooter was secured at this stage. I might have the sequence wrong. But again, there's a lot we don't know. But Trump is wide open here. How could they allow this to happen? And for Trump to go fight like that, well, heroic, or seemingly so, don't you think that you would be in a state of shock where you wouldn't really be able to say or do much? Again, I've never been shot at. But I know that in certain situations, even getting into a fight, in the clubs when I was in my early 20s, I did that quite often. I know that your thoughts go completely out the window and animal instincts take over. So is this fight, is that his animal instinct? I don't know. Let's continue watching this. I'm just throwing this out there for you guys right now, just as some food for thought. You can think what you want, but please, let's not be abusive in the comments either, okay? Because everybody's going to have their own take on this. Now, he does look to be in a state of shock there. He does. There's no denying that. Oh, look at that. Notice none of the left-wing corporate media made any comments about his hair being mussed up yesterday, but it is a comb-over. Let's have a look. Yeah. Just an observation. I'm not dissing the man, you guys. It's just an observation, that's all. Now, a lot of people were also making comments regarding these two female Secret Service agents here and here who looked to be, while they were protecting Trump, or that was the detail they were on, they looked to be protecting themselves first, ducking from the gunfire as opposed to getting in the way of Donald Trump. And also, both of them are almost a foot shorter than him. I don't see how they would be able to protect or shield him from any gunfire, which is what a Secret Service agent's job is to do: step in the way of a bullet aimed at the president or the presidential candidate or the former president. That's who they're protecting. We have found out in the past 24 hours, courtesy of Dan Bongino, that the head of the Secret Service is in fact a woman who is incorporating DEI into the Secret Service and wanting majority women on details by 2030. That's what we've heard. Now, we could get into a very long debate about whether women should be doing this job or not, but there is an old saying, and I know it's old: women and children first. Now, when it comes to caring for kids, the household, the family, being the comforter and the nurturer, abso-freaking-lutely. I would not want a man doing that job. I'm not saying a man couldn't do it, but I'm saying I'd rather have a woman doing that. Instinctively, women are comforters, nurturers. Men are defenders, protectors by instinct. Now, again, there are exceptions, but we should not formulate our society based on the exception as opposed to the general rule out there. It's just how we're built, in my humble opinion. Let's continue on. Okay, so guys, we are going to we're going to delve into some crazy stuff as the show goes on. And for social media folks, you've got 15 minutes before I go right to all access here. Doge designer. This is the evil left-wing corporate media commenting moments after the bullets rang at the Trump rally yesterday. Trump escorted away after loud noises at Pennsylvania rally. That came from the Washington Post. From NBC, Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after popping noises heard at his Pennsylvania rally. ABC, Donald Trump escorted off stage by Secret Service during rally after loud noises ring out in crowd. Newsweek, MAGA responds with outrage after Donald Trump injured at Pennsylvania rally. So, the Marxist corporate media would not acknowledge that there was an assassination attempt, at least not at first, after the events of yesterday. I'm not sure how long that lasted. But this is a commenter on CNN talking about Donald Trump. You know what? When he went, fight. Okay, this is, according to Ryan Saavedra, CNN's Jamie Gangel attacks Trump for saying fight after someone tried to murder him. Once again, probably not thinking clearly. I personally agreed with his statements all the way. Now, some people out there thinking, fight, fight, fight for me and the president. I think that Donald Trump meant fight, fight, fight for your country, for the world. That's what I think he meant. Literally, Jamie complains about what he did 5 seconds after he was shot. Let's listen to her for 30 seconds here.
I do want to say there was one thing that when I watched the tape, I found odd because of all of the heated rhetoric. And that is that after he was hit, former President Trump got up and said, fight, fight, fight. I think what we're hearing from people is that's not the message that we want to be sending right now. We want to tamp it down.
Is she out of her mind? We're going to get to that one in just a second. Dr. Karen Pinder of the University of British Columbia. Stacey makes a comment here, and I'm going to try and address this. She asks, what is the point of this movie anyway? If we have no control over what their plans are for us, then why drag out this whole production? Is it really loose energy they want? I'm sick of this. I just don't understand it. Yeah, maybe it is. You absolutely, Stacey, you might be right. I believe these people, the ones attacking us right now, the ones attacking society, I believe, truly believe in my heart that they are Satanists. I want you to understand that for exactly what I mean it to be. They are evil. I'm not saying the ones who did the shooting yesterday. I am not talking about any one particular person. I am talking about the globalists, the people who are running this show. I believe they are evil. And yeah, they may be feeding off our loose energy. And maybe with all of the confusion that happened yesterday, they were just having a feast. I don't know. But what I do know is that cooler heads among us all need to prevail here so that we can plan for ourselves. This is what we've been saying now for the past 2 or 3 years. We may not have control over their plans, but we can control what we're going to do. Doesn't matter what they're going to do. They can throw whatever they want at us. And I'm going to get to that later on in the show tonight, because something happened yesterday that got completely washed out of the news cycle because of all of what was going on with Trump. All right, so just stay with. And we'll get to that. In the meantime, Dr. Karen Pinder. Now, somebody's saying, she needs to be fired. Who posted this? It was Chris Sankey. So Chris Sankey on X. She needs to be fired from UBC immediately. This is an individual teaching Indigenous and non-Indigenous students. This is why so much hate and violence occurs in BC. All right, so this is what Dr. Karen Pinder did. She said, here, look, damn, so close, too bad. In obvious reference. And then some person responded, IR_A Monty said, damn it, so close, and now he'll milk being a victim for more votes. I really wish the person had better aim. And then Dr. Karen Pinder goes on to say, what a glorious day this could have been. Now, after these comments, she removed her X account. It's gone. However, you can still reach out to the University of British Columbia and make a complaint, or you can send them an email. All right? And I'm going to, I did a post on social media about this very thing earlier today, and I said, why should she be fired? Why do you think she needs to be fired right now? What I would, and the reason I say that is because that's exactly what the Marxists would do. They would cancel you instantly for something far less egregious than what Dr. Karen Pinder said there. And I can understand that you might be upset about that and you want retribution. Of course, sure, why not? People want revenge. I get it. But if we're going to look at this thing more open-mindedly, then let's say, all right, let's bring Dr. Pinder into the office tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, sit her down and ask her why she posted that. What was she thinking? She's in a position of heavy influence over young people here, and we need to know why she thought that was okay. Yeah, she had second thoughts, obviously. Or maybe she didn't. Maybe people started attacking her on X, calling her names, and she got scared and she pulled her account down. Or maybe she had an attack of conscience. I don't know what it was. But what I would do if I were the dean or president or whatever of that university is I would call her in and I would say, all right, Karen, what the hell? And let her explain herself. And if she digs herself a grave, then you got to say, all right, sorry, but you're fired. But if she gives you an answer that is worth listening to and apologizes and says she will never do that again, who knows? Maybe, just maybe, something like this could be a learning moment for somebody on the left. She may be so indoctrinated that that's impossible. I don't know. I don't know the woman. But again, we need to cool the temperature down before we act rashly, lest we become the evil we are fighting. And I can't even begin to tell you how much of this I've seen in the last 24 hours. People demanding firings, demanding firing squads. We can get retribution, yes, of course. I'd rather have an apology, first of all, an acknowledgement of wrongdoing and an apology. Sincere, heartfelt. And a promise that that is never going to happen again. Not to say I'll believe them, because we're going to be keeping our eyes on these people for the rest of our lives. But we need, at some point, and again, I am not suggesting that we let them skate at all. But we need to give them a little bit of rope for explanation. That's what human beings do. That's the way it used to be done. He did what? Okay, let me talk to him. Before immediately, fire, fire, fire. We need to rise above this crap, you guys. Now, having said that, UBC is investigating this issue. Here is a story from left-wing corporate Global News. UBC is investigating the apparent, again, their wording, apparent professor's social media post after Trump shooting. Obviously, it's not apparent. It's her social media. She took it down. Come on. That's absolutely ridiculous. I guess maybe they're just trying to cover their butts here, but that is absolutely ridiculous and cowardly reporting. UBC is investigating an apparent social media post, possibly from a UBC professor. Give me a break. I suppose Dr. Karen Pinder could say, well, that wasn't me. Somebody's impersonating me online. She'd have to prove that, obviously. Or she could say, somebody got a hold of my phone. Whatever it is, I would doubt either one of those two explanations. It was posted on X shortly after Donald Trump was injured in a possible assassination. The left-wing corporate media. They're ridiculous. But anyway, apparently UBC is doing an investigation. Now, I doubt anything is going to come from that. But if you keep the pressure on, UBC, you send an email, you make a phone call, you say, I want this investigated thoroughly for real, for realsies, instead of just a cursory glance, then maybe they actually will do something about it. Do I believe she deserves to be fired? Yes, I do. But I also believe that we need to be the bigger people here and give her a chance to at least explain herself before throwing her to the wolves or the lions. Now, this guy's funny here. Terrence K. Williams on Rumble. He's got quite a following over here. And, people have been suggesting, maybe you, I know I have, it looks staged. The whole thing. It looks staged. Well, listen to what Terrence K. Williams has to say. You might find this amusing.
Y'all are disgusting. Y'all are literally sick in the head. And when I say y'all, I'm talking about the people who keep saying the shooting was staged. Are you freaking kidding me? Come on now. Are y'all that sick in the head? Now, y'all call us conspiracy theorists all the time. And y'all gonna sit up here and say this was staged? Why would Trump try to kill himself? Please explain to me. That doesn't make any sense. And then y'all are literally a bunch of pieces of shit. Y'all are cheering and clapping and celebrating the fact that he almost died? Are you... You know how evil and sick you have to be to be cheering, celebrating,
Yeah.
clapping because someone almost died. Someone innocent at that. Trump has done nothing wrong. He's never harmed a soul in his life. That is politics aside. Trump is someone's father. That's someone's father. That's someone's brother. That is someone's cousin, someone's uncle. That is someone's grandfather. And you're laughing and celebrating and cheering that he almost died in cold blood. You sick. Y'all are literally a bunch of lowlifes. Seriously. Lowlifes. Just y'all are disgusting. And y'all claim to be the party of tolerance, the party of love and peace. What is so loving about celebrating somebody almost dying? As much as I do not like Joe Biden, I have never in my life wished him harm. As much as I do not like Joe Biden, I have never heard one Trump supporter, one Republican, say that Joe Biden should be murdered in cold blood.
That's true.
But y'all over here mad that Trump did not die, celebrating that he almost died.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
No.
So yeah. Okay. So we get you, Terrence. I find his presentation comical. Maybe it's just, I don't know, the way he talks. He does make me laugh. However, he's talking to the Marxists, the ones on the other side who were taking great pleasure in all of this and calling it staged. They're not the only ones who were calling it staged. There are certain aspects of this that to me seemed to denote something else. And everything just falling into place so perfectly this morning. Of course, we can look back and hindsight's always 20/20, right? But there's certain elements of this that just don't ring true to me. For example, the Secret Service. How could they let a 20-year-old guy carrying a ladder? We found out today he was carrying a ladder to get himself onto the roof where he was doing the shooting from. Carrying a ladder and a gun, understanding he was outside of the security perimeter, but he was still 150 yards away from Trump, and apparently that's a pretty easy shot for any kind of marksman. And there's not a lot of roofs or buildings in that area from what we understand as well. And we're going to get more into that as the show continues on shadowdavis.com. How could the secret security miss that completely when there were people who were actually screaming at Secret Service and police officers in the area, hey, there's a guy with a rifle getting ready to shoot somebody on the roof. They were yelling. Now, I'm not sure, maybe the police and Secret Service couldn't hear these warnings, or maybe they just thought there was a bunch of wackadoodles in the crowd who were trying to make trouble. But this is not understanding as well that they don't have the full security detail that the sitting president has. Now, we understand as well that Trump, 3 or 4 days before this event, had made a request to the White House for additional security, which the White House denied. But Donald Trump is a very rich man and can easily provide for extra security financially if he so chooses to do so. So if there were threats coming to him, and maybe there were, maybe there weren't, maybe he should have made that investment. We don't know. Or maybe something else was going on. This is going to be the final thing before we break away to the website. Again, shadowdavis.com. Go become an all-access member. From the Western Journal, news report shows police interaction with Trump shooter seconds before the attack as situation gets even crazier. What? Police encountered the man who attempted to assassinate former President Trump face-to-face moments prior to the Saturday shooting, according to a new report. The shooting, which occurred, we know all of this, and claimed the lives of 2 people, an attendee of the rally, former fire chief Corey Comparator, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Comparator, and the shooter, identified as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks. Trump's ear was shot, bloodying his face, but he sustained no other injuries. According to a Sunday report from the Associated Press, a police officer climbed onto the roof of the small metal sheet building Crooks later shot Trump from. In multiple first-hand reports from the rally, witnesses claimed they warned authorities and security personnel about the shooter and pointed out his location as he readied to shoot the president. And yes, there is video we have of that. We'll play for you a little bit later on. The new report confirmed this was the case, prompting a lone local police officer to climb on top of the roof to confront Crooks. Crooks then pointed his rifle at the officer, who responded by retreating down the ladder he had climbed. Shortly thereafter, Crooks quickly took a shot toward Trump before Secret Service snipers returned fire, ending his life. Conveniently. Why did they have to kill the kid? Why do all of these shooters wind up dead, friends? That's another question that we can ask later on. In addition, sources told the AP that bomb-making materials were also found in Crooks' vehicle. The FBI claims the shooting is being investigated as an attempted assassination and an act of domestic terrorism. Since the shooting, President Trump has put out two official statements via Truth Social. In the first, posted last night, Trump thanked Secret Service officials and offered his condolences to comparator's family. In the second, published today, as we read to you earlier, Trump again offered condolences and offered his thoughts on the state of the country. All right, we're going to leave it there for the social media folks. Come and join me on shadowdavis.com for more. We're going to continue on there in just a couple of minutes. And for those of you who are not going to be doing that, who would rather not pay, that's cool. Tomorrow night we'll be back at 8 o'clock with author Donald Lee on the show. And obviously this will be a topic of discussion, and got some ideas too to fight back for us, which I'll be interested in hearing about. Donald is a great guest, a great author, and he'll be on the show tomorrow night starting at 8 o'clock. For the rest of you, have a great night. Catch you tomorrow night. For those of you who are All Access members, I'll see you in 2 minutes at shadowdavis.com.